When did I first feel both repulsed and aroused by Shianne? Jeez. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the stuff. Oops. Well, that'll serve me alright for having breakfast without me slacks on. I guess it was the first time we were together in the biblical sense, you know, in the bedroom. Which was also the first night that I met Shianne. I saw her and I was like, that woman has curves in all the right places. But as it turned out, she had on some fairly robust underwear that made it so. Like flab scaffolding. We're in the bedroom. I assume my position. We're both ready, prizing off the undies because they're so flaming tight. When the knickers came off, I was surprised because her belly sort of leapt out of me like unset raspberry jello escaping from a mould, and I didn't really know what to do with all that flesh. I was like kind of squidging it, I like flapped it some, that she didn't like. I guess that was the first time I was sort of repulsed and turned on by Shianne. So, at that moment I was like, look, Dave, are you gonna let a little bit of repulsion put you off a potentially bonds a bit of rumpy pumpy? Was I buggery? So I said, Shianne, let's take 10, let's take 2, let's just take some time out. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna stop picturing her belly like some kind of gelatinous dessert. So I was like, right, I'm gonna bloody get to know this woman. She's not just tits and a fanny. So, we get to talking about her kids, Diplomacy and Susan. She said she called diplomacy because she thought it was more original than chastity. But when she finally worked out what diplomacy meant, she thought it would be best for everyone just to keep her mouth shut. Now she thinks diplomacy looks like a diplomacy, so it's alright, you know? She called Susan because it seemed like a safer bet after the whole diplomacy debacle.
Did Shianne tell you who the father was?
Who the father was? No. I don't even think she knows. She said she fell pregnant with Diplomacy and Susan after a few questionable nights at a local bingo hall. I never understand why people say they fell pregnant. It's like you're walking along the street and you trip up and you're like, bang, I'm up the spout, you know? Unless you trip over and land on a fertile man's erect penis. That's just fairly unlikely. So, we get back into it again. Shianne starts doing like a sexy dance with her maternity bra, unveiling one boob at a time through these sort of Velcro trapdoors. I see her nipples. They're bloody huge, like fighter pilots' thumbs. I guess on account of all the titty feeding she gives Diplomacy and Susan. Don't get me wrong, I like a large nipple. But when you're sucking on one that's sort of like having a big plum in your mouth, we're definitely hovering over the precipice of disgust, fresh from the land of arousal, if you know what I mean. Oh, that's the business, mate. Oh, a little bit of vom there. I continue my sexual exploration of Shianne. Her body is just chocker full of surprises. We start getting back into the belly, the midsection, her self-confessed trouble zone. And I was shocked because under her belly flap is a tattoo. The tattoo was formerly a sunflower, but it stretched.
It had stretched to the point where it now resembled a proud lion's head looking up at me, with a tiny little body and leaves for legs. Now, I happen to think the lion is one of nature's finest beasts, but I was pretty surprised to find it lurking underneath Cheyenne's little paunch, so I mean, if you were to ask me, would I prefer to be with somebody that didn't disgust me to a certain degree? Maybe. But, the world's not black and white. It's shades of grey. And, you know, grey's a dirty colour. So, are we done?